Legendary warriors, the powers that created us now want us all extinguished. We must join forces, or else forever be their slaves. For today, in the name of freedom, we take the battle to them. Let's roll.
Here in moments.
The ultimate gala spectacle.
Holy Mother of God on earth and in heaven at the exact same time.
You want a piece of me? You got it!
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles?
Yes! Peace and blessings, everybody. To God be the glory, and may His grace manifest to all of you who may be checking this particular morning edition of the Dan Adams Show of yours truly, Dan Adams, a.k.a. the Soulful Conservative, the DA and the prosecutor, among many other nicknames I've been given over the years. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I want to go ahead and talk about the situation with the Judge Neil Gorsuch confirmation hearings with the Senate Judiciary Committee. And ladies and gentlemen, for a lack of words, seriously, for a lack of words, let me fix my camera just a shade. There we go. For a lack of words, and I apologize for my French, but this has been a shit show for the Democrats. I mean, literally a shit show being put on display by the Democrats who are on the Senate Judiciary Committee. These people, and I adjust it again, Dan. These people, I guess when they figured out who was going to be on the Senate Judiciary Committee on the Democratic side, listen, let's pick the dumbest, most ill-informed, most unintelligent people we have, and let's put them on the Senate Judiciary Committee. I've been catching excerpts, haven't been able to watch the hearings because, I'm at work, I got to do my job. But at lunch and after work, I've caught some excerpts. Lord have mercy. And Al Franken. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, the man should be counting his blessings every day when he wakes up. And he is able to walk into, I think it is the Rayburn building, where the senators reside in Washington, D.C., on Capitol Hill. He should count his blessings that he is a senator. Because number one, ladies and gentlemen, the man shouldn't be a senator. Point blank, period. Number one. Excuse me. Number two, let alone be on the Senate Judiciary Committee. When you have to be given definitions of terms, when you have to stop and ask the person that you're trying to confirm, what is he saying? What is he talking about? What was that word you just referenced? What is the definition of that term that you just spoke about? Then, ladies and gentlemen, you should not be part of any committee, let alone a senator of the United States of America. I am at a point, ladies and gentlemen, where I do believe that some Democrats will come over and confirm will confirm Judge Neil Gorsuch. I made a post yesterday on social media, and I'm paraphrasing. Just looking at Neil Gorsuch from a distance, Judge Neil Gorsuch, just looking at him from a distance and the audio excerpts and things that I've seen, I haven't even actually gone and really delved into his past and things of that nature, and I will, just haven't had a chance to do it. But just visually seeing, number one, how nice of a man he is, number one. just the eloquent nature of how he speaks and the love that he shows for his family, his wife and his kids. It is not even a hesitation in regards to, should I really show my affection towards my family? No. That is like the first thing on his mind, basically, when he's encountered. And when he opened up his confirmation hearing on Monday, he took 20 seconds out of his opening statement to acknowledge his wife and the love he has for his wife and his family. Who does that? This man does, ladies and gentlemen. And for that, I commend him, number one. For that, I applaud him, number two. And number three, it is refreshing to see. It is absolutely refreshing to see. Now, like I said, I have not delved into his past. I have not delved into his career as a judge. But the things that I have read and have seen, if this man is not confirmed as the next Supreme Court justice, I already am at odds with the Democrat Party. We all know this. I am already on the opposite spectrum in regards to ideology and beliefs in regards to the Democrat Party. We all know this. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a judge who could not be more qualified to become the next Supreme Court justice. And I love what I believe Ben Sass stated, and I'm paraphrasing, that Judge Neil Gorsuch sees the law for what it is, not what he hopes it to be. Let's say that again. He sees the law for what it is, not for what he hopes it to be. And that is what the Democrat Party is and will always be and will always look for in a judge. They don't care what the law is. They only care what they want the law to be. And if you have individuals like that on the Senate Judiciary Committee, whether it's right or left, Democrat or Republican, you need to be removed immediately. I don't care who you are. And if you are part of the legislative branch, ladies and gentlemen, you have been tapped to, I guess, for a lack of definition in regards to what you do if you're part of the legislative branch, if you're a senator or a congressman or woman, you are supposed to, ladies and gentlemen, supposed to come up with and put forth and vote on laws, ladies and gentlemen. You're not supposed to be part of a committee and at a certain judge's confirmation hearing put into play that judge's judgment because you disagree with how that judge goes about his business in regards to upholding and interpreting and seeing the law for what it is, not for what you hope that it is or hope for it to be, but for what it is, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what a judge is supposed to do. But no, we have these Democrats, and they are really starting to get on my nerves. They have for years now. But now, with the display that we've seen, ladies and gentlemen, the display of the Democrats, it's been arguably some of the worst behavior we have seen from human beings in our lifetime. Seriously. Now, granted, and they always tend to bring up this stuff in regards to defining who we are or describing who we are on the right as Nazis and things of that nature. We all know that Hitler was one of the evilest, that's not a word, most evil person that has ever walked this planet. We know this. But ladies and gentlemen, if they're going to assign me as a Nazi because I don't believe what they believe in, if they're going to describe me as a Nazi because I'm not on board with their ideology, if they're going to call me an ism or obic just because I don't believe in their belief system, that is some of the worst behavior that you can ever exhibit. I disagree with them, but am I calling them names left and right? No. I only come back and clap back at them when they clap at me. I have other pressing and important things to be name calling someone else on the other side just because they're on the other side. And if you look at it from that angle, ladies and gentlemen, that is some evil, black magic evil within these people's hearts. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know how else to even put it in words or describe it or lay it out for you. That's evil. Like I said, I have gone to bat with many liberals and Democrats in my day. And I have never stooped to the point, right out of the gate, if I get to a point where I'm frustrated with them, that names, trying to character assassinate, try to belittle, besmirch, and demean, that is not who I am. Sometimes I'm taken there by liberals and Democrats, and then afterwards I'm thinking to myself, why did I go there? But sometimes, because I'm human, I'm taken there. So ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to come on and espouse my feelings in regards to Judge Neil Gorsuch's confirmation hearing and the sheer lunacy from the left and the Democrats and those who are sitting on that Senate Judiciary Committee who happens to be a Democrat. I mean, these people are dumber than a bag of rocks. Let's look at it like this, ladies and gentlemen. I believe, what's today? Wednesday? I'm not for certain. This might be the last day for Judge Neil Gorsuch's confirmation hearing. If it's all week, then Lord have mercy. You got to give that man a medal. Or shoot. I don't even care who it is, whether you're on the left or right. To sit in front of these people and answer all these questions for 10 plus hours at a time, we must give these people a medal for that. But ladies and gentlemen, as we go forward and as we look at the, agenda from the left, we need to combat it at every angle. I don't know where you stand on how you want to combat it, but this is my vehicle right here. Even though I'm in my vehicle, this is my vehicle. Me talking, me making videos, doing audio, podcasts, and things of that nature. Me going on social media and letting my thoughts and my opinions and my core beliefs be known to those who want to listen. And if I may change the scope of thinking for one person, ladies and gentlemen, then I've done my job in regards to getting the word out, letting people know where I stand, and hopefully bringing those and not slamming it down someone's throat, not making it to the point where a person is, my anvil's not coming down on their head trying to make them change their mind. No, that's not how I roll. That's not what I do. What I do is this. I tell you how I feel. I tell you what's on my mind. And I try to do it in the most eloquent way that I could possibly do it. And leave it up to you to disseminate what you feel about it. And if you agree or disagree. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for allowing me to come forth with my opinions, my thoughts, and my feelings. This is Dan Adams, once again, a.k.a. the Soulful Conservative, the DA, and the Prosecutor. We Are America Radio is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne Dupree, CEO of War Radio. We're going to have Hutch Bailey Jr. We're going to have David P. Redmond. We're going to have Paris Copus. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right, Paris. And if I said it wrong, I apologize. And we're looking for other individuals to come into the fold, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you are interested and want to become a part of the War Radio family, We Are America Radio, hit up Wayne Dupree at Wayne Dupree Show on Facebook and Twitter. Hit me up at Dan Adams Show on Facebook and Twitter. And we will talk and converse and see where you're at. So until next time, may God bless you and yours. May He keep you and your family safe. Peace.
This poem is for the woman I love. I knew not what love was till you awoke within my heart. We are now together forever, never shall we part. I will track where you are, I'll decide whom you see. Remember, sweetheart, you belong only to me. So do what I say and don't do anything dumb, or I may have to hit you until you are numb. If you tell another soul, well, that will just make me mad, 'cause I tolerate you, and for that you should be glad. There's one more feeling I must express to you, honey. Don't ever, ever let me catch you touching my money.
Some relationships are not as they appear. That's because domestic abuse is often hidden. Join the Women's Center and Shelter in the effort to end abuse early on and help us provide emergency sanctuary to those who most need your protection. To donate, visit the Women's Center and Shelter at wcscanhelp.org.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony. Why does President Trump want the bill to replace Obamacare passed so quickly? Because of what's next.
Our Republican majority will pass massive, historic tax reform.
The president at a Republican congressional dinner. A House vote is set for tomorrow, but up to 30 conservatives may not support the bill.
Even if they figure out a way to muscle this through the House of Representatives, there are still problems in the United States Senate. The Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, is confident that he can move a bill next week, but there are Republicans who seem to be dropping off this bill left and right.
Fox's Chad Pergam. Democrats hope the bill fails, saying millions would lose their health insurance. Amid all the scrutiny of any Russian connections to President Trump's campaign, his ex-campaign manager is linked to Russia again, something from more than a decade ago. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Undercutting an assertion from the White House that Paul Manafort never worked for Russian interests is a new report that alleges he secretly worked for a Russian billionaire to advance the interests of President Vladimir Putin. The AP reports that Manafort in June of 2005 proposed a $10 million plan to influence politics and news coverage inside the U.S. that would undermine anti-Russian opposition. In a statement to Fox News, Manafort said that he worked for Oleg Deripaska almost a decade ago, but his work, he said, did not involve representing Russian political interests. Dave?
Johnson Senate Democrats cite the Trump-Russia probe and calling for a delay in the Supreme Court confirmation vote. Republican Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley calls that ridiculous. Neil Gorsuch's hearing resumes in a half hour. There are some protests in Rockville, Maryland, after two immigrant students, at least one of whom is here illegally, were charged with raping a 14-year-old girl in a high school bathroom.
I don't really want my child in with a criminal that is, that just walked across our border. But
Superintendent Jack Smith says it's right and the law to admit all students and is wrong to paint everyone with a broad brush over one terrible incident. Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced. Not happy with U.S. military drills with South Korea, the North Koreans try another show of force.
U.S. officials tell Fox the North Korean missile blew up 5 seconds after launch. U.S. officials say the missile was a Musadon intermediate-range ballistic missile, the first attempted launch of this type of missile since President Trump took office. On a visit to South Korea last week, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said the Obama-era policy of strategic patience was over and called the last 20 years of negotiating with the rogue communist regime a failure. Earlier this month, North Korea launched 4 ballistic missiles, which landed roughly 190 miles from Japan. Last year, North Korea conducted 24 missile and 2 nuclear tests. At the Pentagon, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Germany's cabinet has approved a bill that would annul the convictions of thousands of gay men under a law that criminalized homosexuality in post-World War II Germany. Some 50,000 men were convicted between 1949 and 69. The decision also clears the way for those convicted who are still alive to be compensated. A popular game show host from the 70s has died.
Chuck Barris proclaimed himself the king of daytime television, having created some of its most popular game shows of the 60s and 70s.
It's the dating game. It's the newlywed game.
He later produced and starred in perhaps the strangest of them. Barris admitting in a television interview 10 years ago, the Gong Show would likely be his epitaph.
I think on my tombstone, it's just going to say, gonged at last, right?
Along the way, Barris claimed he'd been a CIA hitman, although the government denied that. He wrote most of the music used in his shows and also penned a top 40 hit. Dead from natural causes in his Palisades, New York home, Chuck Barris was 87. Jack Callahan, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could fall again. Futures are lower before the opening bell. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News Radio.
87. Jack Callahan, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could fall again. Futures are lower before the opening bell. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News Radio.
Dr. Comey, we will begin this line of questioning, and then we'll finish it the next round. FISA and other similar related counterterrorism programs have been described even this morning as vital, critical, and indispensable to our national security. And many of us on both sides of the aisle believe FISA and similar counterterrorism programs prevent terrorist attacks and save American lives. But FISA and other surveillance programs are intentionally designed to preserve the privacy of U.S. citizens. They are intentionally designed to ensure the information is collected and used only for legitimate national security and criminal investigative purposes. There are statutory safeguards. There are warrants based on probable cause. There is a FISA court that is involved. There are audits on the back end, and we think so highly of this material. It is a felony punishable by up to 10 years in federal prison to unlawfully disseminate it. All of this was done to make sure this information gathered remains good as it relates to U.S. citizens. The way I view it, Director Comey, the American people have an agreement with their government. We are going to give you the tools to keep us safe, even if it infringes on our privacy some. We're going to give you the tools. And government in return promises to safeguard the privacy of U.S. citizens. And when that deal is broken, it jeopardizes American trust in these surveillance programs. So let me ask you, do you agree FISA is critical to our national security?
I do.
Do you agree programs like FISA were intentionally designed to safeguard the identity of U.S. persons?
Yes, there are other important elements of it, but that's the primary goal, I believe.
It wasn't an afterthought. It wasn't an accident. These are intentional safeguards that we put in place to protect U.S. citizens. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you agree much of what is learned from these programs is classified or otherwise legally protected?
All FISA applications, review by the court, collection by us pursuant to our FISA authority is classified.
The dissemination of which is a felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison?
Sure, dissemination, unauthorized dissemination.
Unauthorized dissemination of classified or otherwise legally protected material punishable by a felony up to 10 years in federal prison.
Yep, yes, as it should be.
All right. In January of this year, the Washington Post reported, according to a senior U.S. government official, a named U.S. citizen, and I will not use the name, a named U.S. citizen, phoned the Russian ambassador several times on December the 29th. In February of this year, the Washington Post reported nine current and former officials who were in senior positions at multiple agencies at the time of the call spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss intelligence matters, and that officials began poring over intelligence reports, intercepted communications, and diplomatic cables. In February of this year, the New York Times reported a U.S. citizen, whose name I will not use, discusses sanctions with the Russian ambassador in a phone call, according to officials who have seen a transcript of the wire-tapped conversation. And again in February of this year, the New York Times reported on a phone call involving a U.S. citizen, including significant discussions of phone records, intercepted calls, intercepted communications, and reported the NSA captured calls and then asked the FBI to collect as much information as possible. My time is up, so I will say this for this round. I thought it was against the law to disseminate classified information. Is it?
Oh, yes, sure. It's a serious crime. I'm not going to comment on those particular articles because I don't want to, in any circumstance, compound a criminal act by confirming that it was classified information. But in general, yes, it's a serious crime, and it should be, for the reasons you said.
We'll take it back up next round, Mr. Chairman.
Can't control the unexpected, uninfected is the protected, putting up a shield, you're forced to yield, keeping it real in the field. Everything seems in order, knowing inside we tend to hide those feelings that make us defensive, tense and apprehensive, disregarding my intuition, left on the ledge, being force-fed, propaganda, innuendo, release love that's not reciprocal. Looking at things as an individual. Let our minds expand so we can properly put it in context. An example for the rest, yes.
Situations we find ourselves in.
Never knowing, just keep on going. Knowing where it all began, yet we hold a grudge, never looking to budge, move or adapt, thinking this time we need a soul clap, whether educated or ignorant, whether criticized or a compliment is being paid, falling down a grade, no extra credit will reach this pathetic effort that the world keeps giving, striving for peace is surely the least. They think that war is the answer. Meanwhile, kids are dying from cancer. I can't make decisions for you. All I can do is shine the light that leads to righteousness and obligation. Making sure we feed the poor. Come on.